Welcome back to another episode of With Gus, and this little build we are focusing on this battery powered electrically run scooter trike thing. So the idea is to basically get it running, probably pimp it out, put some cool stuff on it. So we'll get into it. So it's actually quite a nice little build. This is the motor here. It has a belt drive running to the axle, which is just a plastic thing. It only powers this wheel, however, so it might be weird to steer. The front wheel's got a clutch in it, so if you get a bit of speed, the pedals don't spin as you're sitting on it, but then when you put pressure on the pedal, it'll kick into gear. It's got a little switch up here, which I assume is forward and reverse, mechanical brake, and a super comfy seat. Now the first step that we'll do is check for continuity through the motor. So set this thing over to beep mode. Just grab one end of this thing, stick it in there. So that's good. So if it's a higher number, it means there's more resistance and more chance of nothing happening. So what we'll do now is to simply connect the motor straight to a 12-volt battery and see if it'll spin. So we can place positive to one side, and it's not going to reach, so we can just run this thing to there. Careful not to short anything out, and it's the red one. Hey, it works. That's awesome. So it's good news that the motor actually turns. I assume that the rest of the electronics should be fine. It will depend on the battery, which I assume is under the seat. So we'll pull that out and check it out. Okay, so there's your problem. There's no battery. Okay, so for now, we can use this car battery as a test. Might even leave it on it. And now we'll have to check if this switch works so we can make the bike go and stop and continue. So we'll just try and assess if this switch still works. So this is a momentarily on switch, so that would be providing power to the motor. And then it's also got this way, which I'm going to assume is just off, because I don't feel like reverse would be stuck on. Sounds quite dangerous. So we'll try, and this is the cable, by the way. We'll try and check for continuity here on these two lugs. So I should be able to do that, and then yeah, getting no sound. Not even that way. So I'm fairly certain that this switch is bugged. Okay, so I got the switch out and I've pulled it apart, and this bit's quite rusty in here, so I think it's just going to be broken. I'll just pick up another switch, they're quite cheap. Then I can convert the end of it to a different fitting and wire it up to fit the car battery. So I found this electric fence switch, so you can switch the fence on and off. We should be able to use this as sort of a test circuit, so we'll check the continuity of that as well. So you just go one end here, one end up there. Okay, so it's not very fucking good. Oh wait, if I put it straight on the threads, might be a bit better. Oh, fine, so it's actually perfect. So it's in a bit of a test circuit now. Should get a few sparks if it works. Okay, so it works. So I've found this on switch, which is basically your active comes in the middle, and then it can either come out here or out there. So you could run this thing backwards and forwards if you wanted to. So I'll just hook it up, battery in here, power out there. So battery in the middle, with the circuit off, and doesn't matter which side it goes on. And it's only 12 volts, so it won't arc between the two. Alright, turn her on. Oops. Haha! That's a win! Now, with any little stroke of luck and an extra hand, should be able to pull apart this thing, stick it in there. Oh, it's looking good. Oh wow. So we can salvage the wire from this old busted switch to put in the new one. Maybe even that housing too. Right, so the switch is installed, and here's the end of it. I should literally just be able to put one end on the battery. Yes, I can. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so back to the drawing board. I've got the switch and the lead, and I've just got to cut the top off, because I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and solder it up and do a good job of it, because it's going to be a nightmare trying to get this going. Anyway. Okay, I'm so bad at soldering, so here goes. Yeah. Alright, getting there. Fuck! Okay, because I'm so bad at soldering, I just cut the end off because I couldn't deal with all the plastic and everything. And I'm just going to solder it directly to this thing, and then we'll make some sort of housing for it. Who gives a shit? It's going to be fine. Okay, solder attempt number 5000. And 3, 2, 1, melt. Ah. Oh, it's delicious. Okay, solder 20,000. I think I got the hang of it now. Heat some wires up and just pour the tin in it. Yes, that's actually quite nice. Good job, Gusty boy. So here's the finished switch, if it'll focus. Maybe. Anyway, here's the switch. So I'll just run some tape around each wire just to isolate it, and then strengthen it up a bit, and we'll put it back in the grip. So, ultimate test, here we go. It's connected to the continuity on the multimeter. Oh, the magic sound. So it looks like this thing might work after all. We'll do a little test setup. Now, of course, I don't have the drive belt, so we can't actually drive it around today, but we can get a bit of a circuit happening. We'll attach the active side of the circuit to the bottom of this battery isolator that I have, which is off. From that, we run the active end into the throttle switch. Okay, that's off too. And then that comes back to this, which is active still, and we can connect the alligator clip from there to here. And then this alligator clip should just run back to the battery. but we'll get the big leads, because then the alligator clip can actually clip onto something. Alright. No sparks. No fun. And we'll turn this on. Aha, and it works! So, you should be able to hit this little switch. And then hit some burnouts. Okay, we'll modify the battery housing so it can be used as both the housing and the seat. So we'll just cut some holes out the back so we can run some leads. While we wait for a few parts to turn up from the internet, we can start to wire things up. Found I don't know what you call it, but you can cut these up and use them as connectors. Just got a little screw in there, and found a bit of wire. So I think this all should work. Now the return cable. Now from the battery to connect to the switch on active. So the circuit's pretty much in position. Just attach some spade clips there so I can unhook it if I have to. And I'm waiting for some battery terminal clamps to turn up so I can actually make a nice little finish to it. Actually, false alarm. I just found these battery terminal clamps I can use. Pull these off an old dead work light. These should work just fine. Okay, here it is. This is basically the final run over. We got positive on the red cable, which runs down under the frame, up here to the switch, which turns it on and off. And then it keeps running down along here, edge of the frame, to the motor. Then from the motor, we have the return, which runs back along, up the red, to the yellow actually, back to the yellow. And that's the whole circuit. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Should be fun. This was the drive belt that came with it, which had snapped, so I just zip tied it together and it bloody works. Let's take it for a ride. The belt snapped, as to be expected. So it was a failure, but it was an expected failure, so I'm not bummed at all. The front tyre is flat. Let's fix it. The wheel looks like an absolute jerk to get off. It's got an Allen key bolt, the crank arm bolt, it's got a few circlips and things in here. So I might just pop the tyre off for now, and if there's only one little hole in it, we can just patch it and just stick it back in. If there's a few huge holes, it'll obviously need a new tube, and then we can worry about taking this crap off. Well, the tyre's been pumped up for the first time in about 10 years, and it works. And this is about all I can do until the belt drive turns up, and then we can plug that in and then sort all the other problems out, and then probably pimp it out, maybe some lights and stuff. So for now, until then.